Alright. So I'm gonna share this as creatively as possible. Uh, I'm gonna share a story of two men. So the title ng life story ko is The Tale of Two Men. So, the first man, alright, this man was born July 18, 1988, and he was born in a Christian family. Goes to say, he met the Lord at a very young age, and he met the Lord back in 1995 in a Vesper service at International Baptist Church in Mandaluyong. And it was an authentic acceptance and moment in his life. And since then, he became active in the church. He took part in all sorts of ministries available. And when he reached high school, he already knew what his life was for. He believed himself. He believed that God was calling him to be a full-time pastor. And so he decided after fourth year high school, he decided to enter the Bible school. So pumasok po siya. So don't pretend po na hindi nyo alam kung sino yung kinakanta ko. Ano po to? Hindi po ako to. Alright, so he decided to enter the Bible school to be a pastor. So he took up AB Theology in Baptist Bible Seminary Institute. And after 2 years, things got topsy-turvy. To cut the long story short, things got really rough in his family. So at that time, his family was undergoing a very big problem at home, and which caused him to, somehow lose his faith in God, and he started to believe that parang ay hindi pala, if God was good, he won't allow these things to happen in his life. So he went out of the seminary. Kung ano yung uso nun, nagtrabaho siya sa isang booming yung call center industry ng that time. So he applied for a job as a call center agent, and after a year, he realized he wanted to prove something more, and so nagpa-promote siya as a team lead, assistant team lead. And then that's the time when everything started to crumble down in his life. So he started to learn all kinds of vices from smoking to alcohol to even drugs. And it's not really something to be proud of, but he did it anyway. In fact, meron siyang spare na yun.
Meron ba dyan?
Meron. Later. And so, he realized that time, parang his life was going nowhere. And it was already full of shame. And hindi pa niya masurrender yung mga vices niya sa Panginoon. And he thought that it was going to be that way all his life. Ganun na lang yung pamumuhay niya. He won't get back to the right track to revive his relationship with the Lord, which was the source of his joy, of his real joy. And so he embraced false joy, false success, false purpose sa buhay niya. And that's him, right? And let me tell you about the second man. The second man is not just a man. He's also the King of Kings. He's also the God of creation. He's also the Lord of Lords. And he's also full of truth and full of mercy and full of grace. And he's also an athlete. Okay, merong verse sa Bible that said that shares the story of the prodigal son, and you know the story, how it went. At the end of the parable, the prodigal son went back to his dad, and while seeing his son far off, tinakbo ng daddy niya yung anak niya. He's an athlete. He's a fast runner. This man. And not just that, he's also full of promises. In fact, this man, the second man, made a promise to the first man that he remembered when he was in the point of his life. He was so down, he was so hopeless, and he felt like his life was going nowhere. And for the first man remembered the second man's promise in Isaiah 1 verse 18. It says, "Come now, let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall become like wool." And this promise was spoken to the first man on a lonely night as he was preparing for work. You see, the mother of the first man, on his way out of the door, the mother approached the first man and he said, "Her son," and she said, "Anak, dalhin mo naman tong Bible na to." And in the Bible, this verse was stuck inside, written in a bookmark. And while going to work, this man was so convicted of his sin, to the point na he didn't realize he was already crying. Nasa loob siya ng FX, he was on his way to work. And while crying inside the vehicle, he called his boss. Sabi niya, "Boss, di na ako papasok. I need to go back sa bahay. I don't feel well." And nung bumalik siya sa bahay, that's the time that he surrendered his life back to the Lord. And you see, my life story shares the story of God's grace. And I thank the Lord because even though I have decided many times, I have failed Him many times, na-realize ko that the way back is always there. He's been with me all along. And I want to praise God for this opportunity to sing this song and share the goodness of God in my life. And that goodness was achieved not without a price. It was achieved, it was given to me for a price worth a life of a king. And that goodness was given to me because Christ died on the cross. And He shed His blood for me. And now He is living inside of me. So ang title po ng song ito ay This Man. Revealed is a mystery. The crown showed no dignity he wore, and the King was placed for all the world to show His grace, but only beauty flowed from this place. Would you take the place of this man? Take the nails from His hands? Would you take the praise of this man? Would you take the nails from His hands? He held the weight of purity the Father would not see. The reason to finally come to be, to show the depth of His grace flowed from every sinner race. He knew this was why he came. Would you take the place of this man? Would you take the nails from his hands? Would you take the place of this man? Would you take the nails from his hands? And we just don't know. The blood and water flow, and in it all he showed just how much he cares. And the king was torn, so we can have this open door, and the veil was torn, so we can have this open door, and the veil was torn, so we can have this open door, and the veil was torn, so we can have this open door, and all these things have finally been complete. Would you take the place of this man?